If you're working a 9-to-5 job right now, you might want to hear this. It's not your fault. You were told this was the way. Study hard, get a job, climb the ladder, retire happy. But what if I told you that ladder doesn't lead where you think? The 9-to-5 was never designed to make you rich. It was built to make you reliable, to keep you showing up, to keep the system running. Let's talk about the truth, not the filtered version they teach in school. The real reason most people stay stuck. Let's go back for a second. Where did this idea even come from? The 9-to-5 model was created in the early 1900s. Factories, assembly lines. It made sense back then. But now, we live in the era of the internet, artificial intelligence, and digital economies. And yet we're still using a system from over 100 years ago. Think about that. You're doing 2025 work in a 1920 structure. Now let's talk about what that structure really means. You work 8 hours a day, plus commuting, plus mental exhaustion. It's more like 10 to 12 hours of your day gone. You give the best part of your energy to someone else's dream. You earn just enough to survive, not enough to escape. And the worst part? Most people think that's normal. They'll tell you to be grateful. At least you have a job. At least you have stability. But what kind of stability is that? You have one source of income, controlled by one person, who can fire you with one email. That's not stability. That's a single point of failure. Now let's go deeper. Your job trades time for money. That means if you don't show up, you don't get paid. If you get sick, you don't get paid. If you want to take a month off and see the world, forget it. You've built a life that only works when you're working. Is that really freedom? Let's talk about how most people live. They wake up already tired. Go to a job they don't love. Do work that doesn't fulfill them. Get home too exhausted to think. And repeat that cycle for 40 years. Why? Because they were told that's the only way. And here's the scary part. Most people don't hate their job enough to leave. They hate it just enough to complain, but not enough to act. That's how the system wins. It keeps you too tired to dream, too distracted to question, too busy to build anything of your own. Now let me ask you something. Do you believe you were put on this earth just to pay bills and die? Or were you made for more? Because if you feel like there's more in you, you're not crazy. You're waking up. You see the cracks in the system. And you're starting to ask better questions. So what's the way out? You don't need to quit your job tomorrow, but you do need to start building a way out. And here's how most people start. They learn a new skill. They test ideas. They build income streams outside their job. And yes, sometimes they use platforms like Fiverr. Let's talk about that for a second. If you've ever said, I want to start something, but I don't know where to begin. Fiverr is one of the easiest places to begin. Fiverr lets you sell your skills online. Writing, design, video editing, voiceover, social media, whatever you're good at. You don't need a fancy degree. You don't need an audience. You just need to start. I've seen people go from zero to full-time income just by showing up consistently. So if you're serious about creating income outside your job, check the link in the description or the comments. Sign up to Fiverr, create your profile, and take the first step. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. Now let's come back. Why do most people stay in jobs they hate? Because fear is powerful. Fear of failure, fear of instability, fear of what others will think. But here's the truth most never learn. Comfort is more dangerous than fear. Fear can push you to grow. Comfort keeps you stuck. A job gives you just enough not to question the system, just enough not to dream. But life is short, and every day you spend waiting is a day you could have been building. The world is changing fast. New jobs, new tools, new opportunities appear every day. And the people who win aren't the smartest, aren't the richest. They're the ones who adapt. So don't let a 9-to-5 define you. It can be a stepping stone, a temporary strategy, a chapter, not the whole book. Because when it's all said and done, you won't remember the overtime, the meetings, the commute. You'll remember what you built, who you helped, what you created with your time. And you get to decide when that story starts. So if this message hit you, if it made you think, don't just keep scrolling. Take action. Subscribe to this channel. Hit like, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. This is Poor is the New Rich. We're not here to stay stuck. We're here to flip the script. Let's go.